All right. Today's SPY was up 0.06%, so we went absolutely nowhere. And this is likely going to be the scenario until we get FOMC on Wednesday. So pay attention to the critical range that we're currently in. And right now we're in the neutral zone, meaning we're not really bullish or bearish until we see which direction we break out of this trading range. So that range is critical support at 442 and critical resistance just above 450. Above 450, we have the bullish scenario, and below 442, we are likely breaking down towards 430. So below 442, we have one more critical support at 436, but we are likely going to 430. And then if we break that resistance at 450, we're looking for that push higher towards 460 and then 480. So this is a very critical range, and we are likely going to break this range after FOMC. So it's just a question of whether we break out above 450 or down below 442. Keep in mind, local gap fills are going to be pushing to higher prices above 447 and above 455. So there is the chance we do get that bullish scenario and go close those gaps to the upper direction. Now, if we don't fill those gaps and we get the bearish scenario, that'll likely fill those gaps later after we bounce off 430, which is in line with what we see on the weekly charts, which I just did an update on the weekly chart analysis over the weekend. So if you didn't see that, be sure to check it out. So stay neutral until we break the range, and you can trade the range while we're in it, and pay attention to those critical levels because those are going to define the next leg in this market. Very quickly, I want to look at XLF, which is the financial sector, and you can see price action is above all the moving averages. And today we did get the crossover with the 20 above the 50. So we do have a full bull trend and bullish price action. You can stay bullish in the financials above this breakout at 34.7, and bullish financials is always going to be a bullish sign for SPY. On the NASDAQ 100 triple Qs, we were down 0.04% today. And if you look at the triple Qs, a lot of the down move today was because today was the ex-dividend date. If you look at the NDX, we actually closed slightly in the green. So the critical support in the triple Qs remains 370, and the range here is 370 to 378. The bulls are taking over above 378, and the bears are taking over below 370. And below 370, I'm looking for a push back down towards 355 to 347. Above 378, we likely push all the way higher into the previous all-time high range, which is going to take us above 400. On the Dow Jones, we were flat on the day, also going absolutely nowhere, and we closed right on top of critical support at 346. The range here is 346 to 350, and once we break that range, we'll know whether we're going towards 360 or down towards 340. On the Russell 2000 IWM ETF, we were down 0.66%, and we did get another daily close down below 183, which is significantly increasing the probability we're going down to fill that gap at 176, and we do have the full bear trend. So manage your risk right there at critical support at 183, and in order to get more bullish, we need to get back above 188. On the ARKK ETF, we were down 2.44% today, and we lost that critical support at 43, which means we're coming down towards 42. And if we break 42, we're likely going down towards the gap at 36. ARKK is very simple. I would stay risk off until we can clear that resistance at 44.5, which means you're expecting this to be a lower high until price action proves otherwise. And if this is a lower high, the lower low would be down there around 36. On the VIX, we were up 1.52% today, and the VIX did try to break out to 15 yet again, but yet again it got crushed. So we still don't see a spike in fear that would lead to high volume panic selling, but if the VIX does start breaking out above 15, it could be right around the corner. On Bitcoin, we're currently up about 1%, trading just below the negatively sloping 50 EMA, and we are looking for critical resistance just below 28,000. Critical support is 25,000 and critical resistance is 28,000. So once we break this range, we'll know whether we're breaking down to 22,000 or breaking out and going back higher towards 32,000. On Tesla stock, we were down 3.32% today, and with that rejection from 279, it looks like we are going to follow the path that I drew out, which is that we would go lower to fill the gap at 256, put in our higher low, and we now have the bull trend, and then continue higher towards 295. So you can stay bullish above the gap fill at 256, but in the short term, it looks like we are trending lower before we continue the uptrend, which is going to require that bull breakout above 279. On Apple stock, we were up 1.69% today, and Apple is holding that critical support at 174, and above 174, there's a good chance we're going higher to fill the gap right around 181.5. If we fill that gap and get rejected from a lower high, that means we're likely going down to 167, but this is starting to look like a double bottom off of 174. So if we do start to break out and continue to close above 180, there's a good chance we push all the way back to the top of the range around 190. So manage your risk at that critical support at 174 and then watch for resistance around that gap fill. So jumping back over to the S&P 500, this should be an exciting week on the second half of the week after we get FOMC out of the way. So pay attention to the range and stay neutral while we're in the range. And then once we break out of the range, follow the direction of the breakout, whether it be below critical support or above critical resistance. As traders, we couldn't care less, we just simply want to be on the right side of the trade. So have a trade plan ready to go and then act accordingly and let the price action do all the talking. We're absolutely crushing this market on the Stock Channel Discord server and Bank Trade Alerts, and you can still claim the discount for the Bank Labor Day sale, and I'll put all of those details in the comments below. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you're crushing this market, and as always, I will see you in the next episode.